Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and another video. This one's a little bit different than normal. This one is, I happen to be streaming when the news of Joc Pederson to the Atlanta Braves broke from the Chicago Cubs for, I believe, Bryce Ball, which is a Braves first base prospect in Single A. And this is just a kind of what we talked about on the stream. I was streaming. I happened to be talking to one of my friends, Justin, aka Dynasty Sports. I don't know if he's going to post YouTube videos or not, but the link to his channel will be in the description. And yeah, we just talked about what that meant for the Braves, what that meant for the Cubs, what that kind of means for the overall MLB market. A little bit different than normal, but we're trying some new things out. Videos will return regularly. We're going to be streaming, I hope, a couple times a week for the foreseeable future. And yeah, so hit subscribe if you guys enjoy. It's mostly Diamond Dynasty stuff. We do rebuilds. I said do. Yeah, but we do rebuilds around trade deadline time, so maybe we'll kick those off again. But yeah, hit subscribe. And here is a very, very unedited clip of us talking about the trade.
Okay, Braves just acquired Joc Pederson for first base prospect Bryce Ball.
Hey, there you go.
Hey, we made a move.
Well, I think that trade right there tells you what the Braves are wanting to do.
Yeah, which I still think is a mistake. Okay, so let's talk through the Braves options, because, you know, you're a Braves fan. I think Big Mac is a Braves fan? Question mark? Maybe you're a Cardinals fan. Okay, so let's say you're only 4 back, right?
Four back.
Okay. Let's say, by some miracle, you jump the Phillies, and, I mean, that wouldn't be a miracle, because I think the Phillies are actually pretty bad, and you topple the Mets somehow, who I think are going to buy, and probably add a pretty big bat. So let's say somehow you jump them. You make it to, you win the division and you make it to the playoffs with an offense that has been terrible and no pitching. What's the upside to that? Like, you make the playoffs to get swept by the Cardinals again? What are we actually adding here? Because, like, Joc Pederson is a fine person to add, but he cannot be the only person you're adding for Ronald Acuna.
Oh, yeah. I doubt they're probably even done. I mean, I know I'm doing a moment with Mitch Haniger here, but Mitch Haniger is another guy that could be a potential move. But again, yeah, these are probably one-year rental type players, because you've got an Acuna coming back. You've got potentially Marcell Ozuna, depending on what that situation looks like, because apparently his wife is going to drop the charges.
Yeah, but how does that work? Because the police literally saw him do it, right? So can the police also just be like, never mind, we didn't see you do that?
Yeah, and that's where I don't know what's going to happen next anyway. But, I mean, if they're going to go ahead and put him in jail, go ahead and do it sooner rather than later, so we get the money back and can use it elsewhere. I mean, but yeah, it all does make sense to wait till next year to try to build for next year, with guys like Soroka coming back, who, I mean, you don't even know if he's going to be the same pitcher anymore, because he, recovering from Tommy John surgery, took a step off a mound and tore his Achilles. Like not even like pitched off a mound, just took a step off the mound and tore the Achilles. Like,
I don't know. I think it is a mutual option for Pederson, to be fair.
And you're giving up Bryce Ball, which is like the only first base prospect in the entire organization behind Freddie Freeman. But he's not even, I think the Braves like 13th best prospect, 12th best prospect, something like that.
I just see Pederson, to me, yeah, TJ, we're talking. If it happened more than 5 minutes ago, TJ, I'm going to let you in on a secret. I've heard about it. Yeah, but it's an interesting move. I don't think it's a good move. I don't know. I'm torn. I see, to me, you can't be renting players if you're the Braves right now, because your window isn't open. With Acuna out, I don't see a way with this pitching staff And this offense that was sputtering with Ronald Acuna, who is your best hitter, I just don't see a way that you make a deep run anyway, regardless of who you kind of add.
Yeah,
especially with Joc.
I think right now they're just. I mean, let me see what Joc Pederson's contract actually looks like. See if he's really a rental or do we have him?
It's a mutual option. I'm looking at it. Oh,
okay.
Vladdy. Also, he's a below league average hitter. Like, he has a negative WAR and has a 96 OPS plus. Like, this is not. We're not getting an all-star here if you're Atlanta. Like, this is a very. Yeah. I don't know.
And at this point, I don't care if he's an all-star. I think at this point they're just trying to have a decent professional outfielder.
Yeah.
Right now, and then since it is a mutual option for next year, he could decline it, but he very well may accept it, knowing that the team could actually compete next year in a decent division if everybody's healthy. But I assume what Alex Anthopoulos is probably looking at this is giving up a prospect you could probably easily replace for a bat that can help you now, kind of like how Adam Duvall was in a way, and then he becomes like your fourth outfielder when everybody's healthy. Because I think he's a fourth outfielder for a World Series winning team, because you need to have the depth. But
I could see it, but I don't know. What happened to Pache? To answer that question, I don't think Pache is anywhere close to ready, at least from what he showed, and I know for a fact Waters isn't ready based on his AAA numbers. So you had to get somebody. I guess this is what that is, but I would have thought somebody with a little bit more control. This, to me, is not a now the Braves are definitely buying move. I think this is a we needed a warm body in the outfield that doesn't ruin Pache/Waters move.
Yeah, I do however feel like the move to sell a number 12 prospect in the organization though does probably show he's trying, that Alex Anthopoulos will try to buy. But I think he's just trying to get the bat for now, because the 9 games that the Braves have after the All-Star break are going to determine their season.
Also, where is Ball in, what league is he in? Is he in AAA, AA?
I want to say Bryce Ball was down in Mississippi in AA. But okay. He's been in Major League camp the last two spring trainings, and he's hit pretty well.
Because to me,
he's a guy that I like, but since Freddie's not going anywhere, he wouldn't go anywhere either.
Yeah, to me, this says more about the Freddie Freeman long-term situation than it does about what the Braves are doing at the deadline. Because you're not giving up, I assume, what is your top first base prospect. If you're like, nah, we're not re-signing Freddie. My assumption would be if you're it's 50-50, we may not re-sign Freddie, you're probably keeping your first base prospect. Just for obvious reasons, but I don't know. Wasn't he really good last year? Are you talking about Pache, or are you talking about Joc? Joc was the Cubs leadoff hitter, wasn't he?
I think he was.
I think that's starting the Cubs fire sale, by the way.
Yeah. I mean...
Almost for sure.
To move and get a right-handed power bat like Bryce Ball probably shows that Rizzo's on his way out, too. Because Bryce Ball's, I think, Major League ready. Do I think he's Major League ready to actually be a star? No, he's going to be, at best, probably middle of the Major League in first base rankings, but I think he's a Major League first baseman now. So I want to say he's 23, maybe 24.
Yeah. Pache was not very good last year. I'm looking at his stats.
Pache wasn't very good last year. He actually was better in the playoffs for the little bit of time he played in the playoffs. But no, he's been underwhelming and I still don't want the Braves to trade him because I think an Acuna, Waters, and Pache outfield would be a good outfield for the next decade.
Yeah, I agree. But clearly neither one are ready, and you don't want to risk ruining Pache or Waters, really either of them. I don't know. To me, this is a very nothing move for the Braves. It's we need a warm body that doesn't ruin a prospect, and we're selling everybody for the Cubs move.
I think the big answer here is what happens over these next 9 games. Because let me pull that up. Because I know it's 3 against San Diego. Okay, yeah. So it's 3. Let me tell you for sure. 3 against Tampa Bay out of the break. 3 against San Diego, and then 4 against Philadelphia. And then right after that, 5 against the Mets in a row. So that stretch of games right after the All-Star break is going to make or break the Braves season, I would say. If they can find a way to somehow stay close and stay competitive, which I think that's all you can really hope for, then I think the Braves try to make a move somewhere in between there to try to buy. But maybe halfway through that Philadelphia 4-game series, or maybe halfway through the Mets series there right after, if you've lost a majority of those, then you probably look to sell the Drew Smileys, the Charlie Mortons, Will Smith, and any other pitcher that you could actually get rid of to get some prospects and try to reload for next year.
Yeah. I almost think you do that regardless. Smiley's not doing anything for you.
Well, Smiley's been good in his last 4 starts.
Yeah, but he's not helping you next year when your window's actually open. Because to me, that's the thing, is we can make a push for the playoffs. It doesn't really matter because you make the playoffs for the last couple of years. You've made the playoffs, and it's not been good once you've gotten there. But now, your window conceivably is next year, probably, with a healthy Acuna. I think you retool and extend that window longer than try to fluke one this year. That would be my stance.
But I think, and I'm in total agreement with you, but I also think, knowing the track record of Alex Anthopoulos, I think this is where he can either ruin the Braves for the next decade, or will he fix his mistakes that he's made in Toronto and wherever else he was as well, where he's got them competitive in the first 3 years of being a GM, and then after year 4, it's been moves that he's made, or lack of moves he's made, that basically turned them into the Pittsburgh Pirates, how the Pirates are now, or even how the Diamondbacks are.
It eventually did work out pretty well for the Blue Jays, or at least it seems like it. What do we think? Chat, good move by the Braves? Bad move? Okay move? Nothing move? If I was a Cubs fan, I'd be very worried Bryant does not make it to tomorrow's game.
See, that I feel like they're still going to wait a week to really start dealing even more. I mean, I could see maybe a couple other middling guys, the level of Joc Pederson possibly being traded in the next couple of days, but I think the big guys are going to be close to the deadline because they're going to want to hear everybody's offer. And the longer you wait, the more the trade value for those guys goes up based on whoever's in the bidding war.
The Cubs are in an interesting spot, though, where ordinarily I would agree with you, but they have so many big names that they could potentially offload. I mean, we're talking about, I think Baez could be gone. Bryant could be gone. Kimbrel almost certainly will be gone, you would think. Rizzo potentially. There's a no-doubter. I just think that's so many to hold and wait, because then, you could easily blow that at the deadline. I think at least 1 or 2 are dealt here
Yeah,
fairly
but see, that's
soon.
another question too. In the next couple days, does Alex Anthopoulos call back to try to get Kimbrel? I mean, get another reliever, because if you look at the starters the last month and a half, they're second or third best ERA in baseball. It's just been the bullpen that's been a load of crap, and then offense being very, very inconsistent. So, I mean, I don't know. I obviously I agree with you. They should probably Braves should retool for next year with healthy guys and young guys. Let the young guys like Ian Anderson and Bryce Wilson and those young guys who played amazing in the playoffs last year continue to develop this year and take their lumps, and then hopefully next year they're more consistently what you saw in the playoffs rather than average like this year's been.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It'll be pretty interesting. It will be that at a minimum.